The video was 40 seconds long, and for the first 30 of them, Tyler looked like a legend. He was riding on the outside of a moving train, arms out, wind in his face, city blurring past. His friends were screaming his name from the platform, filming every second, sure this was going viral tonight. None of them were looking at the dark shape rushing toward Tyler at the far end of the tracks. This is the story of the last 10 seconds of that video, and everything that led up to them. Tyler was 15, a quiet Roblox player who mostly kept his head down and wanted badly to matter. He was not popular, he was not an athlete, and he had never once been the center of anything. Then, that spring, a certain kind of video started taking over every feed he opened on his phone. Kids his age, riding on top of trains and on the backs of them, filmed from below by their friends. Those clips got millions of views, and the kids in them became famous at their schools overnight. Tyler watched them for hours, and a small, dangerous thought took root, that this could finally be him. The more he watched, the more it stopped looking dangerous, and started looking like the answer to everything. At school, being the kid who did it felt like the only way to finally stop being invisible. He practiced the wave in his mirror, the exact pose from the clips, so his moment would look perfect. He started planning quietly. Which station, which train, and which friends would come to film it. There was one spot everyone used, an elevated stretch where the train slowed just enough at a curve. For 2 weeks it was only talk, a fantasy they joked about at lunch and never really meant. Then, on a Friday after school, one of his friends said the words that made it suddenly real. He said, "If you actually do it, I swear it hits 1 million views by Monday." And just like that, Tyler could not back out, because now everybody expected him to go through with it. They took the train 2 stops to the elevated platform, and Tyler's heart was pounding the whole way. One of his friends kept saying they should not do it, and everyone else told that friend to relax. That friend went along anyway, phone up, because it is very hard to be the only one who says stop. He kept telling himself he could still say no, right up until the moment his friends started filming. The platform was nearly empty, the sky was going orange, and the next train was 2 minutes away. Tyler stood at the yellow line and felt the rails begin to hum with the train that was coming. For one last second, he looked at the stairs behind him, the safe way out, and he did not take it. Tyler climbed up onto a place where no person is ever supposed to be, and gripped the cold metal. His hands shook so hard he could barely hold on, and part of him already wanted to climb down. But the train was coming, and his friends were counting down, and the phones were already recording him. When it started moving, the fear turned into something else, a wild rush that felt exactly like flying. For a few incredible seconds, Tyler understood why the videos looked the way they did, and he felt unstoppable. The wind screamed past him, the platform lights streaked by, and his friends' cheers faded into the roar. He lifted one hand off the metal to wave at the camera, because that was the shot he wanted. And that was the exact second the train rounded the curve and started picking up real speed. The rush stopped feeling like flying and started feeling like being ripped off the side of the train. Tyler grabbed back on with both hands, and for the first time, he realized he could not get down. The next station was too far, the train was too fast, and there was nothing to do but hold. He tried to remember if the videos he loved had ever shown anything like this, and they had not. They always cut away at the good part, and now he understood, in the worst way, exactly why. His fingers were going numb on the freezing metal, and the train showed no sign of slowing at all. Then he saw it ahead, a dark steel shape stretching across the tracks, low over the top of the train. It was a signal bridge, an overhead beam, the exact kind of thing these tracks are full of. He had watched 100 of these videos and never once noticed how little room there was up there. There was no time to climb, no time to think, only time to throw himself flat against the metal. He had wanted the whole world to look at him, and now he desperately wanted every eye to look away. His friends on the platform were still cheering, still filming, still completely unaware of what was coming. The beam came at him out of the dark, and the video, at that exact moment, went sideways and stopped. What the phones caught next was not a legend and not a viral moment. It was every parent's nightmare. Tyler had flattened himself just enough, and the beam missed his head by a matter of inches, but it caught his shoulder and tore him halfway off the train, and only his grip kept him on. He held on through the rest of that curve with a dislocated shoulder and a body full of adrenaline. When the train finally slowed at the next station, he half fell and half climbed down onto the platform. For a few seconds, nobody moved, because the thing they had filmed as a joke had turned completely real. He was awake, he was alive, and he was hurt in ways that would take many months to fully heal. The phone that had been recording his glory had recorded the exact moment it all nearly ended. His friends found him there, and not one of them was cheering anymore, and nobody was filming now. An ambulance came, and the police came, and Tyler's mother came, and she barely recognized her own son. He spent that night in a hospital bed, with a shattered shoulder and cuts he would carry for life. His mother sat by the bed all night, holding the hand on his good arm, saying nothing at all. He was, by every measure the doctors used, one of the luckiest kids they had seen all year. Because a few inches lower, and there would have been no ambulance, and no hospital, and no story. The clip did go a little viral, just like his friend promised, but not in the way Tyler had dreamed. People shared it as a warning, tagging their own friends, writing, "Please never do this," under the video. Here is the part the viral videos never ever show you, the part that waits at the end of the clip. Riding on the outside of a train is not a stunt. It is one of the fastest ways to die young. In New York City alone, 6 people died doing this in a single year, and most of them were kids. 2 of them were girls, 12 and 13 years old, found on top of a subway car one morning. The transit authority begs social media companies to delete these videos, because every clip creates more copycats. The kids in those clips are not fearless. They are just the ones whose worst moment did not get filmed. The fame lasts about one day, the comments move on by the weekend, and the risk lasts forever. Tyler chased 1 million views, and the video that almost killed him was forgotten by everyone within a week. Everyone except him, because he is the one who still cannot lift his arm all the way over his head. The rush he felt was real, but it was not power. It was his body screaming that it should not be there. If you ever see a clip like this and feel that pull to try it, that pull is exactly the trap. And if a friend is ever planning it, the bravest thing you will do is refuse to film it. No number under a video has ever been worth what Tyler almost paid on top of that train. Tyler is okay now, and he asked me to make this so that one kid out there never climbs up there. If that kid might be someone you know, share this with them before the next dumb dare finds them. So do him one favor, and never let a camera talk you into a place you cannot climb back down from. And if this story got to you, hit that like button and subscribe, because it truly helps these reach further. The next one might land in front of the exact person who needed to see it just in time.